Okay, so now that we've installed Apache and we can serve content to our users, we now need to install MySQL and then go on to install PHP in the next part. So installing MySQL is slightly different to Apache. It's not as easy, but there's nothing too difficult here. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and install MySQL server, and we also have a couple of libraries that we want to install, including PHP 5 MySQL and stuff like that. So the command to do this would be sudo apt-get install, like we've already seen. We want to install MySQL server, which is obvious, and we want to install PHP 5 MySQL, and also lib Apache 2 mod auth MySQL. So that's another package there, library. Hit enter and that will install. Hit yes if you want to confirm everything, which you will. And once we've done that, we can go ahead and actually install that package, or activate it rather. Now, this one's taking slightly longer. There's quite a few things to do. Definitely not awkward silence there. Perfect. So we're now presented with this highly attractive screen, and we can go ahead and set a new password for the root user. Now, it's obviously recommended that this be extremely secure, but I'm just going to go ahead and type in short password. Hit enter. Go ahead and repeat that. Hit enter. And that will do a few more bits, and you'll end up with back to your original state after that's done a bit of working. There we go. There we go, lovely. So now we want to go ahead and install. So we obviously use sudo, and we want to say MySQL install DB. Perfect. So now what we want to do is actually use the setup script. Now this is useful for, this is all going to work as usual, but it's useful for the fact that it's going to guide you through default settings and ask you if you want to change them. Now for a development environment, if you're just testing around this, it doesn't really matter too much, but for a production environment, you need to be really, really careful about this stuff. So let's go ahead and run this. It's in user bin MySQL secure installation. Okay, so enter current password for root. Let's go ahead and enter the password we created in the last step. I don't want to change the root password. I'll leave it for now. That's just part of the security measure. So we want to do we want to remove anonymous users? Yes, we do. Do we want to disallow root login remotely? Now, if you're connecting from another server, you're going to want to say no to this because you might want to connect remotely. But the point here is that it just means that if something isn't coming from your server, the connection is disallowed, which is obviously for security purposes. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes anyway. Remove the test database and access to it. So if you just read here, it comes with a test database called test that anyone can access. So let's go ahead and remove that as well. Reload privileges tables. Yes, we do want to do that. That's going to make all the changes happen, if you like. So there we go. That's pretty much it. We've gone ahead and set up MySQL. Now, how can we test this? Well, until we have we can test this. We can just say, user root. Prompt for a password. And I go ahead and enter my password here. And there we go. So we're in our MySQL terminal now. We can start to use databases and all sorts of stuff. So you play around with that, look at the documentation. But the point is that now we know that we've installed MySQL and it's up and running. So let's go ahead and exit. And in the next video, we're going to install PHP. Then we can sort of, if we need, we can connect to our database. But obviously that's up to you to do, depending on your application. So in the next part, we'll go ahead and install PHP.